I stopped doing Dragon Ball vs. Saint Seiya videos for a while since it was something I felt I was doing too often, so I gave it a rest for what I thought would be a short break. It ended up turning into years. Now, with this being the 5th anniversary of my Composite Goku vs. Composite Seiya video, I decided to revisit the idea in a new way. Instead of making it a complete composite Goku vs. Seiya video, this time it's a Bronze Brothers versus the current Z Fighters. The Bronze Brothers will be pulling feats from both manga spin-offs, anime, and anime movies. Dragon Ball will have feats from the anime Z, Super Anime, Super Manga, Classic Manga, and movies. Okay, I'm trying to get this out on the same day, so I'd like to apologize for saying microcosm instead of macrocosm. The Z team. With the awakening of God Kai, Dragon Ball characters became monumentally more powerful than they were at the end of the Buu saga, and even Buu saga characters were massively stronger than characters like King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets in the anime. He is dwarfed in power by even first form Frieza, who could casually destroy planets with a finger and potentially destroy stars. Buu himself has shown in just a few years' time he could manage to destroy an entire galaxy. Characters like Z-Movie Broly, given enough time, wouldn't just destroy galaxies, but the entire living universe. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku attains God Kai and battles Beerus, leading to a clash that is repeatedly stated to threaten not only the living universe, but the entire macrocosm itself. The macrocosm contains multiple realms, such as the Demon Realm, each branching into their own sub-realms. The Dragon Ball universe is infinite, and the realms within the macrocosm are infinite as well. Beerus accomplished this destruction feat with just a fraction of his power, while Goku managed to keep up in a form he later absorbed into his base state. Since then, his base has grown exponentially more powerful and can be further multiplied through transformation. They would all be much more powerful than Infinite Zamasu, who, in his corrupted state, was merging slowly with Universe 7 itself, eroding its natural law and order. This meant he was no longer just a singular being, but was becoming one with the very fabric of the universe. For some individual feats, Piccolo could contend with Cell Max to some degree. Gohan fought evenly with Caulifla, a fusion of two powerful Super Saiyans, who each should be comparable to Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. Beast Gohan easily overpowered and defeated Cell Max. He could even strike Goku in his Ultra Instinct form. Vegeta is always amongst the most powerful characters in the series, able to somewhat hold off Kid Buu, who could destroy a galaxy. He could contend with Jiren, one of the strongest characters in the series, and defeated God of Destruction Toppa. Training under Beerus, Vegeta mastered Ultra Ego Transformation, channeling the power of a God of Destruction. In this form, Vegeta fought Granola, who is one of the strongest in the universe. Now, Broly casually manhandled Final Form Frieza and Final Form Frieza in his golden form for over an hour. His power continued to rise until he matched and surpassed Super Saiyan Gogeta outright, forcing the fusion character to ascend to blue form. And finally, Goku, who, as mentioned before, with the introduction of God Kai, fought on a multiversal scale, as their shockwaves threatened to destroy the entire microcosm, and he would continue to fight foes who could unleash power on an even higher scale. Even as early as Saiyan Saga, Z fighters displayed speeds near light speed without transformations. By the end of the Buu saga, their feats included traversing the planet multiple times within moments, Broly's destructive potential not only galaxy but the universe itself. Goku also once traveled from Grand Kai's planet all the way to Hell. Dragon Ball characters can also react to the speed of incoming Kai blasts. Goku and Beerus' Kai wave extended all the way to the microcosm. Physically, they will all be immensely more powerful than Kid Goku, who could lift a car. Massive stat amplification through Super Saiyan multipliers, God Kai forms, and others. Piccolo possesses extraordinary regeneration abilities. With enough energy, he can even recover from being shattered into pieces. Vegeta, with Ultra Instinct, lets him grow stronger in battle the more damage he takes. He also wields a power called Force Spirit Fission, which can undo fusions and absorptions by forcibly separating energy from the opponent. Goku has instant transmission, allowing him to teleport instantly anywhere he can sense energy. With Ultra Instinct, he can create illusionary duplicates as distractions and can even construct a massive Kai avatar capable of grabbing larger foes. Ultra Instinct itself is a divine technique where the body reacts without thought, granting perfect attack and defense. Broly is particularly impressive when it comes to adaptation, as it's able to resist and copy Goku's God-bind technique. Hakai. Both Goku and Vegeta have access to Hakai, the God of Destruction technique that erases its target's body and soul from existence. Fusion. Goku and Vegeta have fusion, where they can become exponentially more powerful as one being. Notable techniques that are more than just energy attacks. Solar Flare emits a blinding light to overwhelm the enemy's vision. Destructo Disc, a razor-sharp spinning disc of Kai with immense cutting ability. God Bind, a divine technique that restrains opponents with God Kai alone. Spirit Bomb, by raising his hand, Goku gathers energy from living beings. This can be used as an attack, but also to empower himself. Kaioken, it is a stat amplifier that can be stacked on top of previous forms. Overall, what really stands out is the multipliers, which is a multiplier of 50 to 800, which can be multiplied from impressive feats of destructor capability and speed. Now, will that be enough for them to defeat the legendary Saints? At their peak, the Bronze Saints, often referred to as the legendary Saints or the Fab Five by fans, I would just call them the brothers because, well, they're brothers. Anyway, they are some of the most powerful characters in the series. They scale far beyond the Gold Saints, Mariners, and Judges, and can even compare to the gods themselves. Gold Saints vary in terms of strength, depending on amps and story context, but aside from a few exceptions, the brothers scale to at least their peak if not higher. Gold Saints are the elite of Athena's army, which consists of warriors of bronze, silver, and gold. A bronze cloth once destroyed an entire continent. Silver Saints are 100 times stronger than Bronze Saints, and Gold Saints are in a league of their own entirely. At minimum, they can destroy stars. The stronger warriors like Gemini Saga has Galaxian Explosion, a technique consistently described as powerful enough to destroy galaxies. A judge who is a warrior comparable to the strongest of Gold Saints has a technique officially described as creating a dimension filled with galaxies. The most powerful of Gold Saints have had their power compared to the Big Bang, meaning they can destroy a universe, though through miracles, a form of destiny manipulation and stat amplification, they can achieve feats on par with the gods. The brothers at peak scale far beyond the Titans, whose power derives from Dunamis, which I'll get into in a bit, but with Dunamis, they can create stars, dimensions filled with stars, and infinite universes. The brothers scaling. The legendary saints scale to the gods. Seiya in his GodCloth easily defeated Thanatos, the god of death, who scales above Big Bang level, as he casually destroyed the Gold Cloths. Gold Cloths are durable enough to survive galactic to Big Bang level attacks, making even lesser gods like Thanatos well above this level. The brothers scale massively above Poseidon, whose awakening power was said to encompass the entire universe, infinitely stronger than the Bronze Saint Ryo, who in the anime visibly destroyed worlds that act as alternate timelines. To fully comprehend these feats, we need to break down a few things. Like the cosmology of Saint Seiya, the universe of Saint Seiya in size is infinite, containing countless stars. More importantly, it is multi-dimensional. The past, present, and future are each their own separate time axis, with infinitely branching timelines and infinite presence. This makes the Big Bang inherently multiversal. They scale infinitely beyond the Virgo Saint clash that created Samsara, a clash where countless universes were created and destroyed. The brothers are comparable to gods like Hades and Athena. Athena can create an infinite labyrinth capable of trapping gods. She is immensely more powerful than the goddess Eris, who created multiple timelines, while Hades maintains the underworld, a multi-layered, higher-dimensional realm beyond space-time. The underworld is infinite in size and includes 8 prisms, each their own separate space-time, many, if not all, infinite, and the dream realms of Morpheus. These realms house transcendent souls, as all that die ascend to a higher dimensional state upon death, essentially making each realm higher dimensional. Some databooks even suggest that the underworld contains a super-dimensional realm filled with a myriad of galaxies that only gods can cross. Now about senses. The saint's power is tied to the mastery of the senses, the divine ninth sense. It is nothingness, a void, a power beyond infinity that surpasses the human realm entirely. GodCloth and ninth sense users are above a mastered 7th and 8th sense user. A human tapping into the ninth sense can even overpower Athena exclamation, the power of the Big Bang. Perhaps the most important aspect of their scaling is scaling through dunamis, the peak of the ninth sense. Dunamis is described as a primordial chaos. It is a conceptual void containing all potential existence, the source of all forms in the universe. This is the true power of the gods. Cosmo is essentially an irrelevant copy of the gods' dunamis, but through GodCloths, willpower, hope, and miracles, and of course the power of love and brotherhood, the brothers can contend with this great power. Dragon Shiryu redirected the clash of 2 Athena exclamations, a clash that was stated that he could not survive without a GodCloth. Not only was this clash between 2 Athena exclamations, which again have the power of the Big Bang, but it was the power of the Big Bang multiplied by infinity. It could be argued he only took a portion of the blast, but still a portion of a Big Bang multiplied by infinity is incredibly impressive. He defeated the grandson of Odin, Sigurd, power he described as being like a god. He also fought a primordial god's manifestation made purely for combat, and defeated the merged version of that god and his construct, putting him above the baseline strength of primordial god in GodCloth alone. Cygnus Ioga beam clashed evenly with Poseidon. Without a cloth at all, he tanked the full powered attack from an amped GodCloth Gold Saint. Andromeda Shun, with a cosmos manifestation of his chains, protected the earth from a GodCloth Saint, protected Seiya from a direct attack from Zeus Iolia. An amped Iki defeated the Sisters of Fate and destroyed their realm, which housed all of time and destiny. In GodCloth, he fought the primordial god Pontos. Primordials like Pontos' nature is connected to the universe itself. Iki fought and destroyed his true form by surpassing dimensions. Iki pierced through the Black Sea, an infinite ocean dimension protecting Pontos, and destroyed it, and created a dimensional hole in reality. In GodCloth, he was able to knock back and make Hades bleed. Seiya fought a Cyclops whose power was amped by Uranus, yet he managed to kill him. Seiya once donned the Amaterasu sword and armor. The armor belonged to a supreme goddess of Japan, so stronger than even a GodCloth. It was used to nullify and absorb the power of Zeus. Now in terms of speed, they have many light speed statements and FTL feats, such as Shun's chains crossing light years and galaxies in a short period of time. In GodCloth, their speed is of course increased infinitely. They would be above Thanatos, who attacks from light years away, faster than a goat saint, creating a miracle, allowing them to exceed the expansion of the Big Bang, which created the infinite microcosm. Saints traverse the infinite underworld. Physically, they would be comparable to Shura and Iolia, who could somewhat hold the sins of humanity, which is stated to be heavier than the microcosm that is being held by Atlas, stronger than Aldebaran, who can lift it effortlessly. Notable hacks and abilities. It is said often and is consistent that the same technique does not work twice on a saint. After experiencing or observing an attack once, Saints Cosmo adapts, raising their awareness, speed, and resilience to counter, nullify, or greatly resist that technique. Miracles. Miracles occur when a saint burns their Cosmo so far beyond its limit that they defy logic, fate, and even divine law. It allows passive fate manipulation, probability manipulation, power amplification. Reality itself essentially bends backwards, defying the will of the gods. Seiya himself is deeply connected to miracles, which is why he's called the invincible hero. And finally, atomic destruction. Cosmos' basic uses lies in destruction at an atomic level. Cosmos users passively radiate Cosmo. Simply burning the Cosmo generates an aura of destructive energy that automatically radiates from the body. This aura can incinerate or burn anything within a close radius without the users needing to strike. When focused, all saints attack are fueled by Cosmos, allowing for the destruction of atoms, basically destroying matter at an atomic level. Saints can also attack protons, meaning subatomic destruction. Basically, their attacks can bypass conventional durability. Should note a unique ability of the Phoenix Cloth is the ability to resurrect and have its power multiplied by at least tenfold. Saints have the ability to not only fight without consciousness, but can interact, fight, and traverse time-space as just souls or manipulate armor in their place. Now, notable techniques that are more than just energy attacks. Dragon Shiru has Excalibur, a powerful blade manifesting through his arm. This sword can cut through anything with enough power and negate regeneration. In his Libra GodCloth or Libra GodCloth, he would be equipped with powerful weapons, which, on their own, they can destroy stars. In the hands of saints, their power is magnified. There are enough weapons for the party and even 2 shields. Yoga has beyond absolute zero freezing ability, and the anime can even freeze time. Seiya has Comet Fist, a power that combines his 100 meteors into one singular combined attack. At its peak, it is the combined power of millions to likely infinite meteors. In Sagittarius Cloth, Seiya has the power of the Sagittarius Saint, meaning the ability to paralyze your opponent Shikamaru style. He will also have another technique, Infinity Break, where he can generate an infinite number of arrows at 1,000,000-degree heat. This attack is said to be able to hinder even gods. He wields a bow and arrow compared to that of Apollo and Artemis. He would be equipped with the arrow of Athena, a powerful arrow only Athena herself could stop. A saint wielding this arrow shot through a judge of the underworld and nearly killed Asclepius, a being near godly in power, who survived only through hacks. Would be equipped with the dagger of Athena, a weapon capable of killing gods. Wielding Amaterasu, he has passive energy absorption. Now, with his Synapse Claws, he wields the power of every goat saint, which is incredibly impressive, which means he has a number of impressive abilities, like those connected to the Virgo saints, like the Sound of Silence, a move that directly attacks the mind and soul. Tenbu Horn, a powerful paralyzing technique that works even on gods, and sense removal that can remove the 6 senses. He might possibly even have other abilities, like the 4 doors of Buddha, like poison flowers that remove your senses, starlight extinction, an ability that creates millions of light rays that absorbs anything it comes in contact with and either erases it or sends it directly to the underworld. Phoenix Iki, whose legendary mental technique can drive you insane, destroy your soul, or reduce your power to 50%. With the authentic cloth made via merging his Leo and Phoenix cloth, he has techniques such as Hellfire Whirlwind, a technique that paralyzes you and burns your mind, body, soul, and power. The advantage I see for the Saints is, well, much better techniques and perhaps abilities, and the fact that the Infinity Amp can be added on top of some pretty impressive feats. But who wins? Well, in my opinion, I just don't see any advantages the Z team has over the Saints. At best, they are equal in terms of speed. In terms of scaling, the Saints have better arguments for higher scaling, both low and high end. If we assume everything was mostly equal, the Saints have a much better degree of hacks. The Z team has Hakai, which you can even argue works similar to Cosmos-based attacks. Or if you don't want to believe that, the Saints have resisted existence erasure from gods like Pontos and Uranus. So in the end, abilities like Absolute Zero, multiple forms of paralyzing, hacks, mental attacks, and I would argue much more diverse forms of stat amplification via miracles gives them the win. In fact, I believe the fight is not even really close. At least those are my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts in the comments, so please like, sub, and hit the bell. Later.